guys, it's Jessie, and I know I just did a pink eyeshadow look a couple of videos ago, but it just wasn't pink enough. So I decided I would go for an even pinker eyeshadow look today. I feel like this is really cute with Valentine's coming up, spring coming up. I just felt like this was a cute look. So if you want to see how I put this together, just keep watching. So obviously I did not cut and color my hair. That was a wig. I'm going to start today by priming with my No Poreblem primer. That's the old one. I've had a lot of caffeine today. I am on my third cup of coffee, which I never go to a third cup of coffee. So I feel like I can't really be held responsible with the words that come out of my mouth today, or how fast those words come out of my mouth. I feel like I talk pretty fast anyway, but today we might take it to a whole nother level. We'll see what happens. So the Target by my house totally sucks. They don't get any of the drugstore foundations or any of the drugstore products in until like a year after they're out. I don't really know if this is like a my Target thing or just Target in general, although I'm pretty sure other people get things at Target sooner than I do. I don't know what the issue is, but I really been wanting to try out the new L'Oreal Infallible foundation. So I decided to head to Ulta over the weekend to pick that up to see if they had it, because the Ulta gets drugstore stuff in way faster than my Target. It was really weird though, they didn't have the foundation with the rest of the L'Oreal stuff. There was this little pile of it at the front of the store. There were probably only, I think, like 12 bottles of the foundation sitting there, like kind of all mushed together. So you couldn't tell like what was what without picking it up. It was really weird, but I did find it in two shades that look like they might somewhat resemble my skin tone. I picked up the shade 410 and 425. I actually think this one is too light and this one is too dark, and so I'm most likely going to mix these together to make my perfect foundation shade. I'm used to doing that, it's okay, we'll do it. I haven't read up a lot on this foundation to see what makes it different than the regular L'Oreal Infallible, but it does say that it's up to 24-hour fresh wear sunscreen, broad spectrum, SPF 25. I know Katie raves about this. I know she mixes it with the Armani Luminous Silk, which I'm really interested to try out, but I think just for the purposes of this video, I'll try it out on its own first. I feel like that lighter shade might actually work on me, but I'm still gonna mix them together. And I'm going to be using a brush today. I'm gonna use the Morphe M439. Oh, I saw it, I registered it, and then it was out of my mind. Guys, this is my brain on caffeine. My hair is really dirty. I really needed to wash it, but I wanted to film before I did that. So that's why I'm wearing a wig today. I've been trying out Carly Bible's wig method. I watched her video and decided to get the products that she uses, the Got To Be gel. And so that's kind of what I'm doing today. I put my hair into a low ponytail and then just put everything up. I didn't put on the gel today because I feel like the top of my head is pretty flat, and that I didn't really need the extra gel, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, so that didn't work. It just looked really dry on my skin. I was not happy, and I knew that I would not end up being happy later, so I ended up taking off all that foundation, trying again with the Armani and the L'Oreal Infallible. I also used a beauty blender instead of a brush. I also hit my face with Tatcha Dewy Luminous Skin Mist. I used Tatcha water cream, trying to make my skin as hydrated as possible. I don't know if my skin is just a little drier than normal, and that's why every foundation I put on lately tends to look really dry on me. I don't know what the issue is. I haven't really changed anything that would make me dry out like that, unless it's just a winter. And of course now there are helicopters like circling my house for no reason. I also went ahead and filled in my brows while I was doing that, just to save a little time. Next, for concealer, I'm going to use the Morphe concealer. This is my second time trying that. What is going on? The helicopters are super annoying. So if you watched the video I did about being on the keto diet a couple weeks ago, I mentioned there that I kind of wanted to get back on track and do, you know, like stricter keto and just try to get back to losing a little more weight. And so one of my goals in trying to get back on track is to not drink during the week, to only drink on weekends. And so I've been doing that, and honestly I think that's why I've been drinking more coffee, is because I'm just like bored out of my mind. I've got to say that now, seeing that Morphe concealer on a different foundation and just in different circumstances, I do think it looks really good. I really like it. While I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and set with the Morphe powder as well. Okay, so for my eyes today, I know I did kind of like a pinky look in my last makeup look, but it wasn't the look I was going for, and it just like left me unsettled. So when I was at Ulta over the weekend, I was looking around for what affordable eyeshadow palettes I could have that would have some pink in them, and what I came up with was the Maybelline Lemonade Craze palette. I think these came out a couple months ago. I know they did a soda pop one too. I think, what, was that around Halloween? Because I know they did a thing with Crispy. I'm just dropping all kinds of YouTube names today. Anyway, this has a couple pinks in it, and I just thought it would work for what I was going for. So I'm gonna start by going into the shade Sunnies, and I'm just gonna run that everywhere. I don't know if I've used a lot of Maybelline eyeshadows before. I'm gonna have to look. I know I've done Drugstore eye looks before, but I know that I've used a Rimmel, an LA Girl, and L'Oreal, but I don't know if I've used Maybelline. I'm doing it today though. Beyond just being on the lookout for pinks, I really just liked the colors of this palette anyway. I liked that there were mattes and there were shimmers in here. It had a lot of good variety. It had some more neutral tones that I would definitely use. I'm also gonna go in with the shade Sherbet, just because it's a little pinkier. And I wanna bring some of that in too, start bringing in a little pinkiness. These helicopters are really going to town. Next, I'm gonna go into the shade Berry Ice, which is this very light pink shade. And I'm just gonna start putting that in the outer corner. I'm gonna keep most of the color here in the outer corner of my eye. This is one of the new Morphe brushes that I got a little while ago, the M514. This is my first time using it. It's like a very little precision brush. It's a little fluffy. Next, I'm gonna go into the shade Coral Punch. Just working our way darker and darker. These shades aren't like super pigmented, or at least not the ones I've used so far. They're a little powdery. Oh, we're getting really loud now. Okay, next I'm gonna go into the shade Ice Pop. And because this is such a bright color, I wanna build it slowly so that if it decides to get really pigmented, it won't make a mess all over my face. I'm gonna go back in with a little bit more Coral Punch on top of that, because I think the color I want is really just like a mixture of those two. The Ice Pop is a little reddish. I just want it a little pinkier. Next, I'm gonna go back into the shade Sherbet, just on my finger. And work that into my inner corner and like the inner half of my eye, since the darker shadows are on the outer corner. And then I'm gonna go back in with Strawberry Lemonade just to blend that out, make sure we got enough pink going on. I feel like I've gone in with a lot of this shadow and it's still not like super pigmented. Okay, and then finally I'm gonna go in to the shade Old Fashioned, and I'm just gonna put that in the very outer corner of my lid just to add a little bit of definition out there. And that's what's nice about this little brush, is I can just kind of get like right in there. Perfect size. While I'm at it, just for a little bit of sparkle, I'm gonna go into the shade Strawberry Lemonade. I think I called Ice Pop Strawberry Lemonade before, but deal with it. And I'm just gonna put that on the center as well. Like I said, just to bring a little tiny sparkle and just kind of blend everything together. I'm gonna go ahead and work on my lower lash line. I'm gonna go back into the shade Old Fashioned, and I'm just gonna take a flat definer brush and pack that against my lash line. And then I'm gonna dip into the shade Sweet Tea to blend that out. I feel like since I did a really dark kind of black smoky eye with my last pinkish look, I'd keep this one a little browner, a little lighter and softer. Okay, decided to do another strong black eyeline, but no wing this time. I decided to keep it close by. And next I'm gonna go in with my Lash Princess Mascara. For my lower waterline, I used the Maybelline Lasting Drama Waterproof Gel Pencil. I've been using this a lot lately because my Poor Little Ardency In one is so small and they just aren't restocking it. So I'm trying to like save this one as long as I can. So I have been using this one a lot more. It is super creamy. I have to go so slow and be so careful with this because otherwise it gets thick and like kind of greasy looking really fast. But I do really like how pigmented it is. For bronzer, I'm gonna go into my Benefit Hoola bronzer. For blush, of course, I'm gonna keep it pink. I'm gonna go into this light pink shade right here in the Morphe 9N palette. For blush, I'm gonna go into my Makeup Revolution Goddess of Faith. Pop some of this on the inner corner of my eye also. For lips, I feel like you could just about do any color lip with this look and it would look really cute. You could do super nude. I want to do a little bit more color. So first I'm going to use the Morphe lip liner in the shade Ginger. And then over top of that, I'm going to go in with the Smashbox liquid lipstick in the shade Big Spender. This is one of my favorites. Okay, and then finally I'm gonna set with my Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. Okay, and here is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.